So today we're going to finish 3.1 sequences of transformations. In order to do that, you're going to need to tear page 119 out of your book. Page 119. We'll need something from the front and the back, so I wouldn't throw anything away until we get that together. So on 119, you're going to need to take out 11 and 12 and glue those in right here. So that's 119. Do not get rid of anything yet because we still need something from 120, which is the back of 119. Okay, and then from 120, you're going to cut out 13 and 14. I would not glue in 13 and 14 yet, okay? So don't glue them in yet, but cut them out. I'll show you exactly what piece you need cut out, but we're not doing it yet. And you're not going to glue it in yet. And you'll see why. We won't have enough room probably to glue it in. We'll have to fold it and glue it down at the bottom. So here's what you need to cut out, but don't glue it in yet. 13 and 14, there it is. Just don't glue it in yet. And I just now realized that the whole screen is not, it needs to be larger. I've got my calendar in the background. Sorry about that. There you go. So there's 13 and 14. Okay. Let's go ahead and do 11 and 12. We'll come back to 13 and 14. Just like yesterday, I'm going to use different colors for different pieces here. Yesterday, I kind of talked about how the picture gets really gross if I if I have to graph all that stuff over and over again, which means something that's nice for our for something like this, where it's the rule and it's on a coordinate plane or something, is that I don't actually have to graph every single one of them now. And I'm not going to graph them all now. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this right here, this rule will be prime, so like A prime. This rule will be like A double prime. And this rule will be A triple prime. What we are going to do is we are going to write down our current points, and we're going to perform those rules. We're going to have to write kind of small in order to do all this. All right, so we are going to write down X, comma, Y. We're going to write down A, B, and C. Okay, so A is 2, 2. B is 2, 5. And C is 3, 2. Now, can you do this rule and this one without writing them down? Yes. I just find it's easier, so you can do that. You can go and go, okay, left one down, one A, left one down, one B, left one down, one C, and then go, okay, multiply it by 3. You can do that. The reason I don't do that and don't want to do that is because I find that it makes the picture look so much better if I actually write the rule and change them from the rule. You get to decide, though. There are so many ways to do this. You get to choose. Right. A prime is subtract 1 and subtract 1. So it's going to be 1, comma 1. B prime, 1, comma 4. C prime, 2, comma 1. Okay. Sequences of transformations here means I go from these points to the next one. So I'm going to 3x, comma y. Just to refresh, remember this is a translation, left one, down one. This is a horizontal stretch. It's not a dilation because it's not 3x, 3y. So A double prime, I have 3, 1. B double prime, I have 3, 4. And C double prime, I have 6, 1. Okay, and then the last one is a rotation of 180 degrees. So A triple prime is -3, -1. B triple prime is -3, -4. And C triple prime is -6, -1. Now I will graph it. This is what I meant. I only have to have the final image graphed to have the answer, okay? This is just the work to get there. So in geometry, you're like, well, what even is my work? This is the work. -3, -1. A triple prime. -3, -4. B triple prime. -6, -1. C triple prime. Remember, I had this right here, which was a horizontal stretch, which means that now it is not the same size anymore. It's still a triangle, but I mean, it's not the same size. It's in a different configuration, so it's not in the same shape. Same shape doesn't mean it changes to like a quadrilateral. It means like doesn't even have this thinner piece here. But there's my final solution, my final image. This would be the answer. This is the work. Let's look at number 12. I would actually like you to pause number 12, pause the video, do number 12 on your own, and then check your answer. Remember, I'm going to keep going though. I'm going to draw a line right here. So I know this is a new problem. This is number 11. This is number 12. All right, so I'm starting with x, y. This will go to 3 halves x and -2y, which will go to, this is a vertical stretch and a horizontal stretch, but not by the same number, so it's not a dilation still. X minus 5, y plus 4. So we'll only have double primes this time. A 2, 1. B 0, 2. C 4, 3. Okay, then I have a prime. Okay, here's how I do this. I could use a calculator to do it. I really don't need to though. 3 over 2 times 2, which means I've got 3 times 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3, comma, -2 times 1 is -2. B prime, anything times 0 is 0. -2 times 2 is -4. C prime, 4 times 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. 3 times -2 is -6. Okay, then we have a translation. A double prime. 3 minus 5 is -2. -2 plus 4 is +2. B double prime. 0 minus 5 is -5. -4 plus 4 is 0. C double prime. 6 minus 5 is 1. -6 plus 4 is -2. This is my final answer that I'm going to graph. This is the work. It's not going to be the same size because of this. Horizontal and vertical stretch, but not by the same. So it's not a dilation. -2, 2. That is A double prime. -5, 0, B double prime. 1, -2, C double prime. Make sure you're labeling so I don't have to take points off your quiz. Okay. Now, we're going to work on 13 and 14. 13 and 14, see, mine won't even fit right now. That's okay. I'm just going to move this notebook for now. Here's 13 and 14. We're going to work them out, then we'll glue it in. So these say predict the results of applying the sequence of transformations to the given figure. Okay? Here is what I am going to do that. And it's a good idea for you to do that as well. Do you see how it says predict? It doesn't say actually do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a small piece of paper and we are going to trace this image. Pre-image, I should say, non-image. I just happen to have graph paper, but whatever you got is fine. Just use a Post-it, I don't care. And I'm just going to trace the figure. I'm not going to trace anything else. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. My grids don't match, do they? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's say 7. I'm going to cut it out. You can make a rougher, tracing, whatever you need to do. You might not even need a picture. Some of you don't need anything to visualize it. Okay. So I got my figure here. It's close enough. It's not quite the same, but that's fine. Okay. So it says we've got a rectangle here, and it's going to be reflected across the y-axis. Well, here's the y-axis. So if I reflect it, it's going to be over here. So to describe this, we're actually going to list the quadrants to predict and talk about it. I got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So a reflection across the y-axis places the figure in Q2 and Q3. Okay, that's what that does. It's just predicting what's happening here. So you might not even need anything to actually flip. Okay, now it says, how about translated along the vector 5, 4? Well, that means we go right 5, and up 4. So I'm going to move this over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be right there. So, translating places the figure back in quadrants, back in Q1 and Q4, but it is moved slightly up and left compared to the pre-image, which is this one. You are predicting, you are writing about what's happening, okay? That's what you need to write. I want you to try 14. You can either cut out an actual triangle or do something else. I'm going to cut out another triangle. Pause it and try it on your own. Okay. You've paused it. You've tried it on your own. The problem with this one is going to be that I'm stretching. Okay, here it is currently. TUV right here is horizontally stretched by a factor of 3 halves, which maps xy to 3 halves x comma y. Man, this isn't really going to work. I got to make it larger. So let's actually just do that. V is at 0, -3. Well, it doesn't move. T is at -4, -3. It's still going to be in this line, but 3 halves. 3 times -4 is -12, divided by 2 is -6. T prime's going to be over here. Which is what you could have done on this one if you don't want to actually, get a piece of paper and all that stuff. Okay, U is at -2, -1. So it's now going to be -2 times 3 is -6, divided by 2 is -3. There's U prime. So here's my new one. I'll erase these points because they're going to kind of get in the way. Sorry, every time I erase, the camera shakes. It's weird. Okay, well then, so let's just write our prediction. The horizontal stretch will lengthen the triangle. That's all it's going to do. It will stay in quadrant 3. Okay, now let's move it. I'm supposed to move it right 2, up 1. Here's where V prime double prime would be. Right 2, up 1. Here's where U double prime would be. Right 2, up 1. Here's where T double prime would be. So all it's going to do is move it so that it's slightly higher and also in quadrant 4. The translation will move the triangle to the x-axis, and it will be in Q3 and Q4. So on the homework tonight, if it says predict, you're just writing what's happening, okay? Get you into the good mindset of writing mathematically. All right, here's what we're going to do to glue this in. I'm going to glue it in right here. Mine hangs off. Yours probably does too. I'm going to fold. Let's actually just fold it right here. See, I folded it in half. So I've got 13 and 14. And I'm going to glue it. That's fine that they stick out like that. I'm going to glue it down. I'm just going to close my notebook so that I can still unfold it when I need help, but I have it so that it's okay and closed when I don't. Okay. Go ahead and work on whatever assignment there is. I will see you in a video tomorrow.